Hey everyone, this is Kaizouwar here, and you know what? Today we're going to talk about some TERUMI because I have nothing better to do, and I just want an excuse to talk about this one single character. Why not? There's literally a bunch of BlazBlue characters out there, so, today we're going to have a discussion about the BlazBlue Bludge Experience light novels and a character from it, TERUMI. Now, as Bludge Experience hasn't had any English translations, most of the lore information I have about TERUMI is directly from the BlazBlue Wiki, which has been very helpful in case you are ever in dire need to refresh on your BlazBlue homework. Now finally beginning with the character itself, TERUMI, she is the younger sister of Naoto Kurogane. You may ask two questions. Why does Saya have the name TERUMI, and how come Naoto's last name is different? To start off, both Saya and Naoto come from the TERUMI family, which is one of the 4 branch families of the prestigious Amano Hokusaka clan of ARCSYS. Yuki TERUMI has no familial ties to them, as he was, the original god Susanoo, and for now we don't know why he chose to name himself Yuki TERUMI, but that isn't a discussion for this video. Now, as for Naoto, he was born as Naoto TERUMI, but later chose to change his last name to Kurogane like his mother's. So around the time Saya became 8 years old, a parasitic drive known as the Soul Eater had chose her as its host and made her go crazy to the point she slaughtered the entire TERUMI branch family with the exception of Naoto. She was then captured and detained by the then current head of the Amano Hokusaka clan, Mei Amano Hokusaka, and was kept in the main household of the clan until she was 13. Saya had been then let go by Mei as she claims that she couldn't hold the girl back any longer. So Mei gave Saya a letter to be delivered to Naoto. And when she met up with her brother again, she essentially chokeslammed him to the wall and told him that she wanted his eye of the hunter. Pretty much saying that she was going to kill him in order to get it. Yes, BlazBlue family relationships. Can't get enough of them. The Eye of the Hunter is actually an ability that the heir of the TERUMI family has access to, which allows them to see the life force value of other individuals in the shape of mystic runes. Oh my god, I almost said mystic ruins. And Saya wants the Eye to have as proof as that she is the true heir of the TERUMI family. And if anyone's ever seen, when Naoto gets into battle and those little runes pop up over his head when he reads his opponent, that's pretty much the Eye of the Hunter doing its work. Saya managed to back off once Raquel came into the room and left the letter to Naoto, which, funny enough, the letter that Mei gave to Saya actually said that Mei was telling Naoto that she couldn't hold Saya back anymore, and it's kind of funny that she gave the letter to Saya, and then Saya left the letter to Naoto, and just to know that Mei told Naoto that she couldn't hold back Saya anymore, so I just find that funny. I know she probably wasn't planning to get the letter to Saya at first, but I just kind of find it really funny that the message you just give to Saya is that, oh yeah, I can't hold Saya back anymore. It's kind of too late for that now. But skimming through a huge part of Bludge Experience, and Saya doesn't appear that much in it, and to make a long story short, Naoto had been killed once prior in the story, and Saya had discovered that once she met him. Now Naoto essentially becomes kind of immortal when he's around Raquel due to them sharing his life forces, and a younger Valkenhayn had already killed Naoto about twice so far, but he was unable to die because he kept getting revived by Raquel's powers. So Saya didn't take too kind to that and fought Valkenhayn and his partner Relius Clover at the time, and she was overpowering them due to a technique that she can use to boost her speed and power significantly. But she still lost even upon activating her drive. She couldn't, she really couldn't beat Valkenhayn or Relius, but she did put up a good fight. And Naoto hopped in to stop the fight, but Saya was then kidnapped by a man named Spinner Superior, who had a lackey of his killed by Saya prior in the story. Spinner then traps Saya within a giant insect because that's what he does, and while unconscious, Saya's Soul Eater goes out of control. She was then saved by Naoto and then taken away by Valkenhayn and Relius back to the Mitsurugi Agency, where she remains. Now, as for anything BlazBlue Alternative Dark War related, no. Well, I can talk about this summer artwork that was meant to be in BlazBlue Alternative Dark War, but wasn't unable to due to the game's untimely termination. It looks super cool, to be honest. I feel like it would be just a waste to leave it as a beach outfit that will never see out the game if it were to make it in here. I honestly would have loved it to be a badass outfit that Saya could have had if she was playable in the next BlazBlue game or whatever, because these beach outfits will never make it out of Alternative Dark War, and this would have been a great outfit to have in the next BlazBlue game if she would be playable in it. Now, as for abilities, I mentioned before that Saya has the Drive Soul Eater that latched onto her essentially like a leech, Like Ragna, she can use it to steal the life force or souls of others if she wanted to, and Saya can also kiss others to steal much more life force than normal, because of course she can. I also mentioned that she has an unnamed technique that allows her to boost her speed and overall power, though there are 2 drawbacks to this technique. One, this technique can only be used for 3 minutes and will greatly tire her after it, which is very bad, but when she's boosted she's very powerful, but only for those 3 minutes. 2, Saya's body is naturally frail, and while she's a powerful swordswoman in her own right, and is strong enough to lift Naoto by his throat with just one arm, she really can't take many hits. She's like one of those she's very strong, but has like, weak defense, like a glass cannon. And honestly, there's not much for me to say on Saya, as again, BlazBlue Blood's experience, or even smidgens of her cameos in BlazBlue Alternative Dark War, aren't in official English, so I can only speak on just so much that isn't some kind of crazy crackpot theories that I'm just coming up with, and this whole crackpot theory stuff is not the point for this video, and honestly, it'll never end if I went on that tangent. I can't do that. The moment I start talking about theories, this video will never end. Now, as for the mainline BlazBlue games, and particularly BlazBlue Central Fiction, Saya had been mentioned or alluded to a few times, such as when Naoto first met Izanami for the very first time. He thought she was Saya TERUMI, and considering the fact that they looked the same and that they're voiced by Yukana, that's perfectly understandable. There was also a time where Relius Clover told the story to Izanami about the girl he had met, who would later become the basis for the 5th Prime Field Device, aka the mother of Ragna, Jin, and their Saya, and that basis had the ability to devour souls and would later be devoured by her brother, which sounds a lot like Saya TERUMI and Naoto. There was also the time where Naoto and Ragna got each other confused when they crossed paths for the first time, and they had a conversation, or more like a confrontation, and thought that they were talking about each other's Sayas. Again, understandable. But yeah, Saya lives a kind of like a sad life, She was 8, and in the Soul Eater, it made her go crazy. Made her kill her entire family and leave Naoto alive. Naoto gets the hell out of there, lives his new life, while Saya kind of gets trapped in essentially just a prison. Not exactly a prison, but like the main Amano Hokusaka household, which might as well be a prison, because like she has like no friends, no other family member outside Naoto who's estranged from her. And yeah, pretty much that. She's pretty much just kept as a prisoner because of her powers. And then when she finally gets to leave, the first thing she goes to do is just straight to Naoto and wants to kill him for the eye of the hunter. Because she's so proud of her clan, she's willing to kill her last remaining, blood-related member. But the funny thing about all that is, she still, cares for Naoto in her own way. There was a time where she wanted to essentially get, revenge for him. Because Valkenhayn essentially killed him twice, and obviously he came back to life twice. But she still cared enough to try to kill Valkenhayn, which my only guess is maybe she tried to, get back at him for killing him, because that's something she wanted to do. Don't know. I don't know if that's just because she cared for Naoto in her own way. I don't know if she did that just to get, just to say, hey, I want to kill Naoto. What the hell? It's confusing, because, Saya TERUMI really doesn't have any relationship with any other character. She kind of doesn't really give a shit about anyone else. And the only person she really cares about is Naoto. I mean, she honestly doesn't give a shit enough about her family, even after she killed him by accident. Keep in mind that, but yeah, that's that. And I didn't check her BlazBlue Alternative Dark War page yet, but it's actually funny that she has some moves that are references to swords and abilities from old retro games. I find that pretty cool. There's the Kasumi Nidon, comes from the Kasumi Nidon Giri, or Cutting Through the Mist in 2 Steps from Romancing Saga, which, oh my god, I haven't heard about Romancing Saga in forever. The Taka no Ganko comes from the Owashi no Ganko, which is from Ragnarok Online, which is a game I haven't played. And I know this kanji right down here is Shikoku no Ken, or the Jet Black Sword. It is the name of the sword Cecil Harvey uses in Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy IV The After Years. He's initially a Dark Knight that attacks with a shadowy blade. So yeah, I think the only one I remember straight off the bat is the Shikoku no Ken, or Cecil's sword, which is when he was a Dark Knight, which it's funny, I still remember that, but anyway, yeah, it's kind of cool. They're at the end of the day, you still think, oh yeah, Saya is still a kid, so maybe she could be been, when she's been isolated, maybe she plays some games or whatever, you gotta pass the time for 5 years, you gotta do something, so I find that kind of funny though. You can kind of see more of the character through just their moves. You know, every BlazBlue character has like moves that references something, but like I like this, you know, video game references I love the most because like, you know, it's like it shows that yeah, Saya could have just been a gamer girl for the past 5 years. But yeah, that's the end of the Saya TERUMI video. I'm sorry if anyone wanted this video to be way longer. Honestly, there's not much I can say. And I try to keep these little character videos as short as I can without going too far in because I don't want them to be super long and then, you know, bore people with my voice, all that junk. But yeah, without further ado, that's the end of the Saya TERUMI video. I'm out of here. Peace out, everyone, and I hope all you guys have a great day.